Peter Martin is back, and we're going to talk a little bit about bebop language and some more modern day language. Let's make something very clear. Bebop language is still modern day language. There's been a whole school of thought that the lines and the rhythms and the phrases and the patterns that Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie and Thelonious Monk and Bud Powell used are sort of out of date. Let me tell you something. You listen to Charlie Parker, any solo he ever took, particularly solos like Sure Enough, they're pretty otherworldly. Now, you think of more modern language, some would say Ornette Coleman or 60s Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, John Coltrane. They all came from bebop. All they did was take the bebop language and kind of scramble it a little bit, just kind of scrambled the eggs a little bit, but it's still very much rooted in the bebop language. So we're going to take a song like Cherokee. We're not going to play the melody. We're just going to take the chord progression. And I'll play, as best as I can, a pretty bebop-ish kind of solo, bebop rhythms, the sort of phrasing that kind of went on with bebop, a lot of arpeggios, a lot of jumps kind of outlining the chord. And then we'll stop and we'll play it again with, try to put a little bit of more of a modern spin on it. Not too modern, not as in abstract, but just a little up to date. So let's try Cherokee with sort of a bebop vibe. 1, 2, 1, 2, So that's my best sort of bebop. If you can imagine it an octave up, it might sound a little closer to bebop than it did there, but that's my best sort of bebop textbook 101 kind of thing. I try to do a lot of triplets, a lot of chord outlining, especially when they got to the bridge. That's real bebop there. So now let's play it again and maybe open it up a little bit more. Maybe do some more, make the harmonies maybe a little bit more open, make the rhythms maybe a little bit more broken. We'll just do our best. It's hard to break it up too much when you got that kind of tempo going with those changes going by, but we'll do our best to see what we can come up with. A little more of a modern era style Cherokee, if you will. Same tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, here. E flat, E flat minor. Back to the 1. Pedal. Solo, now what I come up with. Trying to leave more space. Little beboppers, but not really. Now, that was, like I said, just a shade, little step past the bebop sort of phrasing. A little bit of bebop still in there. Nothing wrong with that. But I think breaking it up a little bit, Peter opening up the harmonies a little bit, that kind of puts jazz where it is now. One step in the past, one step in the middle, and one step on what could be in the future. We don't really know what that is. So the way to do that, I think, is to address just be in the moment, use all the references that you know, everything that you've learned, everything that you've internalized, and just let it flow. Just let it flow. Don't get too caught up in the concept of what you're playing, but just really understand the concepts, not to be beholden to them, but just learn them thoroughly so you can create your own language and you can converse in your own rhythm and just go for it, baby.